Morning everyone, welcome back to the channel, to the garage. We're here today with a quick one, partly because of what's going on with the virus. You can't really get parts kind of quickly or timely. But I have, it's been a while, gotten ideas of what I want to do, so I'll go over that at the end of the video, maybe kind of introduce what's coming down the pipe. But today what we're going to do is review some new tires. I got new shoes for the truck. I had been running some Pro Comp Extreme MT2s, and I had those on ever since I put the lift on. I'd gone through 2 sets of those over the years, I think about 36,000 miles before they kind of wore through. The reason I chose something else this time was that the Pro Comps weren't great in deep water. They would hydroplane easier than anything else I've ever driven. So they were pretty good in snow, deep snow maybe, but not super fast. You couldn't drive super fast in it or anything like that. So my goal when I set out to look at new tires this time around for my third set was something that performed as well as or almost as well as a full-on snow tire. I didn't find any actual legitimate snow tires in the size I'm running, 35, 12.5 R20. So I went out to find something just as good, and that's what we're looking at today. It's the Goodyear Wrangler Duratrac. So without further ado, I'll bring the camera around and we'll take a look. All right, so I'm down here with the new tires again. This is a Goodyear Wrangler Duratrac. The only thing I was hesitant about getting these was that people had complained about the sidewalls being a little bit thinner, a little more prone to puncture. I don't go off-roading, maybe dirt road or something, but I'm not going to be doing any bouldering. I was a little hesitant still just because I don't have a full-size spare. I can't get a spare on this guy, so I'd have to get a tow if I did get a flat. But other than that, I still think they're pretty beefy enough for sure for on-road driving. If I'm unlucky enough to ride into something or drive into some big metal thing on the side of the road, then oh well. What I really liked about these was the tread pattern. I'll show you that. I'll bring you in a minute to show you that. But the sidewall, I think, will be okay. It's still I think a load E. I'll double check it. I think it's a load E tire, so you can still run it pretty high pressure if you want for good mileage. And you know, if you need to inflate it really quite low. I've seen people go down to 10, 12 psi for deep stuff. So I guess the first really big pro about these tires that I like coming from the Pro Comps, the very first thing I noticed was that they're much quieter inside the truck, and that has to do with the tread pattern. Again, I'll get some detail on that in a second. And because of that, they're also a lot more fuel efficient. Running the Pro Comps when they were brand new, I was getting 13.1 miles per gallon on this lifted non-aerodynamic building of a truck. After they wore down and the tread blocks kind of became squared off and kind of lumpy, I could feel it in the wheel. The wheel would kind of vibrate and rattle a little bit. I was actually getting less. I was getting 12.9 miles per gallon with the Pro Comps as they wore down. With these fresh, I've only had them on for about half a week, but I've done a fair bit of miles, maybe 50 miles. Just kind of looking at the mileage driving as I was before. And I'm getting 13.7, 13.8 right now, so very nearly a full mile per gallon better than the Pro Comp MT2s. And I think that's primarily due to the type of tread pattern. So I'm going to go ahead and bring the camera over here and meet you on the top of the tread. All right, we're back here looking at the tread, kind of zoom in on this here a little bit. So what I wanted to show you guys was all the neat little things they got going on in here. This here is these little zigzags, they call that siping, and also you see these holes kind of here, here, they kind of go all the way around. Those holes are, you know, pre-drilled for studs. If you ever wanted to run these studded, you can. If your roads allow for it. I don't ever plan on it, but it's kind of nice knowing I have the option. But the zigzags here, the siping, that will actually pick up snow and trap it in here, allowing for when this is rolling, snow on the road to stick to the snow in the tire. The reason for that is that the most
you get the best traction in snow when you have snow on snow. The snow will stick to itself, so that's the idea behind this. Again, the tread block in here, this stuff, is the reason why it's more efficient and much quieter than what I was coming from the Pro Comp Extreme MT2. Before, my MT2s, they were bona fide mud tires. They had spacing in between each of the tread pieces, kind of like this, all the way in the middle as well. The tread block here in the middle is much closer together. I can't get my finger in there. It's much harder to do that. And because of that, you get a sort of a raised ridge in the center, a band going all around here that is much closer together, and therefore you get much less road noise when you're riding on this on the road. The edges here are ever so slightly lower than this highest point of the tire, making less contact with the road. So because you're making less contact with the road with like a dry sort of flat road, you get much less friction, you get less road noise. These come into play and do their job in something ever so slightly deeper than what's you'd find on a dry road, a type of road, a little bit of water, a little bit of mud, a little bit of rain or snow, and that's where these come into play. They do a really good job from what I've seen. I'm really looking forward to testing it out. I might come back and do a follow-up review here once I have gone up to the snow. If you've watched any of my other videos, I like to go up to Tahoe probably every other weekend for the entire winter. It's not super far from where I'm at, so these will definitely get some use out of them. I'm really looking forward to how they perform. In addition to the siping and the holes for the studs, they've also got all the way down in here. See, you can kind of see it there. I'll zoom in a little bit more. They've got in here, in the well of the tread here, they've actually got additional little toothed ridges. Very small, but they certainly serve the purpose. If you're going through something, more than an inch deep, say like 2-3 inches of snow, these will also claw in and act to increase the surface area that you would, the effective surface area that you have for traction. So between the smaller distances here between the tread blocks, allowing for a better sort of on dry road performance, fuel economy wise, as well as cab noise wise, I love that. I love the fact that you have the bigger, knobbier stuff out here, as well as what you find on the sidewall. You still have the sort of the sidewall guards in the tread here for extremely deep stuff. So you do get sort of that quasi mud tire with the sort of all-terrain tire perks in the middle, along with the siping. So that is the reason why I went with this tire. It's the reason why I'm really looking forward to continuing driving with this tire. And so far, I think I'll like, how quiet the cabin is. I already like how quiet the cabin is. Over the Pro Comp Extreme MT2, especially on the freeway, I really look forward to testing these out. I'll probably be back in a year or so with another review long term, just to show you how it's wearing. You can compare, as well as what the performance is like in the winter. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed the review of the Goodyear Wrangler Duratrac tires. I haven't found anything I don't like about them yet. I'm sure I might after a year. I'll be back with a long-term review here shortly. In the meantime, I do have some news for you. You'll notice I got rid of when you're turning this, I got rid of the Paragon bed cover. I do a lot of snow, sleet, sort of sneighing driving, and parking my truck outside in the rain overnight. Sometimes leaving my bags in there. I don't want it to be soaking wet in the morning. So I've decided to go with a bit of a different look. I know it's going to change things completely. I'm going to be doing very likely a Lear 100 XR camper shell, truck top, or whatever you want to call it. That's going to be going on here. I'm going to be keeping the bed lights, as you see, in here. These still operate as usual. They're going to stay there. But I'll be back in a couple of weeks with that. And then also a very fun project. It's probably going to be 3 or 4 parts.
we're going to be doing a truck bed slide. And I know that you can buy them. They've got the bed slide. You can spend $900 on that, I think, and it bolts into the bed. But I'm going to be making my own version of it. I kind of want something that's a little bit more bespoke to my bed and my needs. So I'm going to be making it. It's going to come out a full 6 feet. And probably, hopefully going to be spraying that down with some Rhino liner when we're all done. So that'll be coming out in probably the next 3 to 4 weeks, hopefully. I'm going to be ordering the topper here probably in a couple of days, and then going to the store and working on it as best I can for the bed slide coming up shortly. Again, I'm kind of slowed down with this guy. I was helping my wife cook the other day and sliced my finger open and didn't want to go to the hospital to get stitched up just because of where we're at now at the emergency rooms, and they're all, you know, well, being used quite heavily. So I just put a butterfly on there. Hopefully this will heal up pretty quick and I can get back to 100% work and putting out the same type of you know, work at the same pace that I would normally do. So hopefully I'll have a video for you guys with the bed slide starting that here in another week or so. Until then, stay tuned, like, thumbs up, subscribe. If you haven't subscribed, I know I've got 5 subscribers right now. Looking to boost it if you want more content. Right now I've seen quite a few people watching. If you have any questions about what I'm going to be doing, about the tires from this video, feel free to comment below, and stay safe.